You're driving home, everything seems normal, and then the battery light comes on. A minute later, the dash starts flickering, the radio cuts out, maybe the power windows feel slow, and now you're wondering if this is just some weird electrical glitch. Then the car starts losing power while you're still moving. That's the moment a lot of drivers realize this isn't really a battery problem the way they thought. It can be an alternator failure, and when that happens, the car is basically running on borrowed time. Here's the thing, a dying alternator usually gives warning signs first. The frustrating part is, a lot of people ignore the early warnings because the engine still runs, so it feels like it can wait. But when the charging system starts dying, the car can shut down surprisingly fast. The alternator's job is pretty simple. Once the engine is running, it powers the car's electrical system and keeps the battery charged. So the battery starts the car, but the alternator keeps it alive while you drive. If the alternator stops doing that, the battery starts draining to run everything. Lights, ignition, fuel system, dash, electronics, all of it. And once the voltage drops too low, the car may stall, restart poorly, or not restart at all. That's why the first survival tip is to take the warning signs seriously right away. If the battery light stays on while you're driving, or the headlights start dimming, or electronics begin acting weird, don't brush it off. Most people think the battery is the problem. Sometimes it is. But if the car is already running and electrical stuff starts fading in and out, the charging system needs to be on your radar immediately. That sounds small, but it matters, because catching it early gives you options. If you like practical car advice that helps avoid expensive breakdowns, subscribe, because this kind of problem usually gets worse when people wait too long. The next move is to start cutting electrical load as soon as it's safe, and this is where drivers accidentally make things worse. If the alternator isn't charging, every extra electrical demand is draining what little reserve you have left. Turn off the air conditioning if you can. Shut off seat heaters, rear defroster, phone charger, extra screens, and the stereo. At night, you obviously need the headlights, so your time may be shorter. In daylight, reducing the load can buy you a little more distance. Not unlimited distance, just time. And this next step can buy you valuable time when every bit of battery power counts. The third thing is one a lot of drivers don't realize until it's too late. Don't shut the engine off unless you absolutely have to. If your car is still running and you're deciding whether to stop for gas, stop for coffee, or pull into a parking lot just to think about it, be careful. If the alternator is failing, the engine may not restart once you shut it down. The scary part is, the car may still drive normally for a little while, which tricks people into thinking it's fine. Then they turn it off, and that's the end of the trip. So if it's still running, your goal is to make one smart decision and keep moving toward a safe place. That leads to the fourth tip. Don't try to tough it out all the way home if a closer, safe option exists. Head for the nearest repair shop, safe parking area, or location where you won't be stuck in a dangerous lane. Now, to be fair, I'm not saying every electrical issue means the alternator is failing, and I'm not saying every battery light means the car will die in the next 5 minutes. But this is one of those problems that gets worse the longer you ignore it. If steering effort changes, warning lights multiply, headlights go dim, or the car starts stumbling, stop pushing your luck and get somewhere safe. If you've ever dealt with an alternator or charging system problem, let me know what happened, because a lot of people don't realize how fast it can turn stressful. The fifth survival tip starts before the failure happens. Have a basic roadside plan. Know who you decall. Keep your phone charged when possible. Carry a flashlight, especially if you drive at night, and have jumper cables or a jump pack if you already own one. Just remember, a jump start can help a dead battery, but it usually won't solve a failed alternator for long. And that difference matters. A weak battery often shows up when the car won't start. A failing alternator often shows up after the car is already running and the electrical system starts acting strange. Most people don't realize how fast the battery drains once charging stops. So the big takeaway is simple. Alternator failure usually doesn't come out of nowhere. The warning signs are often there first. Battery light, dim lights, weak electronics, weird electrical behavior. If your alternator starts failing on the road, staying calm, reducing electrical load, avoiding unnecessary shutdowns, and heading straight to a safe repair location can make a huge difference. It might not save the alternator, and it might not prevent every breakdown, but it can absolutely reduce the chance of ending up stranded in a much worse situation. Subscribe if you want more simple driving and maintenance advice that actually helps when real car problems happen.